Join us as we honor the stars, visionaries, and icons who passed between January 6th and 10th, 2025 in the United States. Bill Burge. He was born in September 1938 and he died in January 2025. His age was 86 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American character actor and comedian, best known for playing Bobby, the bumbling and silent sidekicker to Jim Varney's Ernest P. Worrell character. He appeared in numerous Ernest films, commercials, and the television series Hey Vern, It's Ernest. Sam Moore. He was born in October 1935 and he died in January 2025. His age was 89 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from surgery. A legendary American soul and R&B singer who was the tenor voice of the duo Sam and Dave. He was known as the Soul Man and was a member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The duo recorded classic hits like Soul Man and Hold On, I'm Coming. Peter Yarrow. He was born in May 1938 and he died in January 2025. His age was 86 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from bladder cancer. An American singer and songwriter who was a member of the iconic folk trio Peter, Paul, and Mary. He co-wrote one of their most famous hits, Puff the Magic Dragon. Yarrow was also a dedicated political activist for civil rights and anti-war causes. Hope Foy. She was born in September 1921 and she died in January 2025. Her age was 103 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. An American folk singer and activist known for her contralto voice, she premiered the song Lilac Wine in the musical Dance Me a Song in 1950. Foy's career was impacted by the Hollywood blacklist, leading her to perform extensively in Mexico and Europe. Carolyn Brown. She was born in September 1927 and she died in January 2025. Her age was 97 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. A pioneering American modern dancer, writer, and choreographer, she was a founding member of the Merce Cunningham Dance Company and danced with the troupe for over 20 years. She authored the memoir Chance and Circumstances. Black Bart. He was born in January 1948 and he died in January 2025. His age was 76 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was colon cancer. An American professional wrestler, born Richard Harris, who gained fame in the 1980s as a rugged cowboy heel. He wrestled for World Class Championship Wrestling and the WWF. He held the NWA National Heavyweight Championship. Derek Ward. He was born in 1962 and he died in January 2025. His age was 62 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was cardiac arrest. A respected American broadcast journalist who was a reporter and anchor for NBC4 WRC television in Washington, D.C. for nearly 2 decades. He was known for his community-focused reporting and storytelling. Neil Zurcher. He was born in November 1935 and he died in January 2025. His age was 89 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American television personality and travel reporter for WJW television in Cleveland, Ohio. He hosted the popular One Tank Trips segment for 25 years, showcasing travel destinations within a short driving distance. He was an inductee of the Cleveland Broadcasters Hall of Fame. Alan Emmerich. He was born in October 1959 and he died in January 2025. His age was 65 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American game designer, writer, and professor, he was a lead designer on Master of Orion and is credited with coining the term 4X: explode, expand, exploit, and exterminate to describe the strategy game genre. Betty C. Monkman. She was born in August 1942 and she died in January 2025. Her age was 82 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was leukemia. An American museum curator and author who served as a chief curator of the White House from 1997 to 2002. She worked in the curator's office for over 30 years, preserving the history and furnishings of the executive mansion. Charles Person. He was born in September 1942 and he died in January 2025. His age was 82 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from leukemia. An American civil rights activist who was one of the original 13 Freedom Riders in 1961. At 18, he was the youngest member of the group that rode buses to challenge segregation in the South. He was severely beaten by a mob in Birmingham, Alabama. Leo Sagettin. He was born in March 1927 and he died in January 2025. His age was 97 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American artist and educator known for his paintings depicting Chicago urban life and Jewish history. He was a professor at Northeastern Illinois University and exhibited his work for over 70 years. Sagettin worked well into his 90s and was at work on a new painting at the time of his death. Charles M. Russell. He was born in June 1961 and he died in January 2025. His age was 63 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was cancer. A Navajo photographer, journalist, and academic leader, he served as the president of Diné College, the first tribally controlled college in the United States, guiding its growth and accreditation. He previously directed the Bureau of Indian Education from 2013 until 2016. Tom Ostov. He was born in November 1936 and he died in January 2025. His age was 88 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American politician who served as a Democratic Farmer Labor DFL member of the Minnesota House of Representatives from 1975 to 2003. He represented St. Paul and chaired the Environment and Natural Resources Finance Committee. Nancy Lieutenant Colon. She was born in September 1920 and she died in January 2025. Her age was 104 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. A trailblazing American nurse who was the first African American woman to be accepted into the regular Army Nurse Corps in 1948. She served as a fight nurse during the Korean and Vietnam Wars and was a member of the Tuskegee Airmen. Robert Paul Wolfe. He was born in December 1933 and he died in January 2025. His age was 91 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An influential American political philosopher and professor at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. He wrote widely on Marxism, Kant, and anarchism. His 1970 book, In Defense of Anarchism, is a seminal text challenging the legitimacy of the state. Kenneth E. Scott. He was born in October 1928 and he died in January 2025. His age was 96 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. an American politician who served as an independent member of the Minnesota House of Representatives from 1963 to 1966. He represented Fairmont and was a lawyer by trade. William P. Dixon. He was born in December 1943 and he died in January 2025. His age was 81 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was prostate cancer. An American lawyer and Democratic political strategist, he managed Gary Hart's 1988 presidential campaign and the 1980 Democratic National Convention. He was a key figure in Wisconsin and national Democratic politics. Jose Chacha Jimenez. He was born in August 1948 and he died in January 2025. His age was 76 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. A Puerto Rican American activist who founded the Young Lords organization in Chicago, originally a street gang, he transformed it into a human rights movement, advocating for the Puerto Rican community and the poor, modeling it after the Black Panthers. Neil McCaleb. He was born in June 1935 and he died in January 2025. His age was 89 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American civil engineer and politician who served as the Assistant Secretary of the Interior for Indian Affairs, a member of the Chickasaw Nation. He also served in the Oklahoma House of Representatives and as the state's Secretary of Transportation. Jim Wetherington. He was born in 1937 and he died in January 2025. His age was 87 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American politician and career law enforcement officer, he served as the mayor of Columbus, Georgia from 2007 to 2011. Prior to that, he was the city's chief of police and the commissioner of the Georgia Department of Corrections. John Granara. He was born in January 1943 and he died in January 2025. His age was 81 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American attorney who served as a member of the Massachusetts House of Representatives and as a special sheriff of Middlesex County, Massachusetts. He was involved in state and local government for many years. Brian Matters. He was born in February 1987 and he died in January 2025. His age was 37 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American professional baseball pitcher, he was the 4th overall pick in the 2008 MLB draft by the Baltimore Orioles. He played 8 seasons in the majors and was part of the Orioles' bullpen during their playoff runs in the 2010s. Bill McCartney. He was born in August 1940 and he died in January 2025. His age was 84 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications of dementia. A Hall of Fame American college football coach, he led the University of Colorado Buffaloes to a national championship in 1990. After coaching, he founded the Christian men's organization Promise Keepers. Your support keeps their memories alive. Like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more stories of those who made history.